Hey, so it looks like we're live. I hope that you can hear me. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to talk about how to focus on your dream clients and how to contact them. So, just going to check in Facebook to make sure we are live before we jump into it. And it looks like we are live. If you're here, just say hey, let me know that you're here. I'd love to hang out with you here on these lives. And this is the second one that I've done this week. We've also got one happening on Friday where I'm going to review some of your portfolios. So if you want that to be you, then just post them below. So I can see that we're live here. If you're watching this live, do say hey in the comments. It's always nice to hang out with you here and let me know if you're enjoying this. So let us get into it. So I'm just going to, go through the presentation, and then at the end we can have like a bit of Q&A, a bit of chat, that kind of thing. So do stick around till the end and, post your comments in the chat and stuff like that. So here we go. 1 second. Okay, cool. So yeah, we did a live on Monday about whether you're going in the right direction in your career or not. So there you go. You can see me waving, double wave like Inception or something in here. So, so yeah, basically, I'm just going to recap a little bit about what we talked about on Monday. But you can find this video will be published in the Facebook group. And also, if you're on our mailing list, then you would have received it in an email as well. So if you want to get this in your inbox, then you can go to motionhatch.com/community, and I'll send you the replay for this after this live as well. So we've spoken a lot about this stuff on the podcast, but I thought I would do these lives this week because, I really like hanging out in the community, talking to you guys, and sometimes it's nice to get feedback. So I want to talk a bit about, just have a little recap about the stuff that we went through on Monday. This is actually an image from something that we're going to share on Monday. That's a bit of a surprise. So you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek here, and you would have seen it on Monday as well if you joined us live then. So, some of the issues that it seems like is coming up again and again, like in the community and also in our mastermind program, is kind of being overwhelmed about all the great work out there. Everyone seems to be posting amazing things on Instagram. And sometimes, you might be thinking, well, am I good enough? Everyone gets that imposter syndrome. So other things, that we're struggling with as motion designers, probably feel like you don't have enough time working all the time on low paying clients, working on stuff that you don't really care about, scared to email studios that you actually want to work with, but you don't know if you're good enough, lacking in places to get criticism and feedback. So obviously constructive criticism. So, we did touch on a few of these things on Monday. If you weren't here with us, basically we talked about how the perfect day exercise solves the need to get a better understanding where you're headed in your career, and also what you should be working on next to help you make progress to the next step. So you can actually still go and download the perfect day exercise. If you go to motionhatch.com/perfect day, you'll find that there. I highly recommend doing it, sitting down, like I said in the live on Monday, for like a couple of hours and concentrating on this stuff and trying to figure out, are you going in the right direction in your career and that kind of thing. I can see a few of you commenting, so thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. If you just joined us, do let me know that you're here in the comments. It's always nice to hang out with you all. So continuing on, that's just a little recap from Monday. So yeah, today, how to focus on your dream clients and how to contact them. So last time we talked a bit about, your career dream and how, most of you, I think your career dream probably involves you working with dream clients, right? So today I thought I would kind of, take this a bit further and talk to you a bit about how to contact clients, how to make kind of a more of a shorter list that's more relevant to you, that makes it more relevant to your clients so that they can see that you're the perfect fit for them. So we're kind of tackling, the points 5 and 6 from earlier in this workshop today, which is working on stuff that you don't care about. So obviously if you're working with your dream clients, then you would be working with stuff that you cared about. And, you know, that issue of being too scared to email studios that you actually want to work with, but you don't think you're good enough. So in our Mograph Mastermind Program recently, we've been talking a lot about this problem actually of like not knowing whether you're good enough and being scared to reach out to people. And in there we give like, you know, feedback and, you know, constructive criticism on your website, your portfolio, all that kind of thing. And like, I thought it'd be nice on Friday if I did, you know, have a look at some of your portfolios live and review them in the Facebook group. So hopefully that will help you too. We are actually releasing applications, like opening up applications on Monday for the mastermind program for January. So if you are interested in that, you can have a look. The link is in the description of this post, but it's also motionhatch.com/mastermind. So if you're interested in that and going a little bit deeper with us at Motion Hatch, then please do check that out. So this problem of being too scared to email studios because you're not sure that your work is good enough or not. So yeah, like I think this is kind of just trying to gain a perspective, like I said, about where you sit in the industry. And sometimes that is from, you know, outside people, and, you know, trying to ask people to give you constructive feedback can be hard sometimes. So, you know, do check out the mastermind, and I hope that I can help you a bit on Friday as well. So if you are interested, do post your portfolio in the comments below, and I will try and get through as many as I can on Friday. And even if you're not having your portfolio reviewed, then obviously hopefully you'll pick up some tips from me just looking at other people's too. So we also help our mastermind members to research and organize a dream client list. So that's what I want to talk a bit about today, and also how best to contact people. So I think this is really important, like a thing that I really want to talk about today, because what happens is people tend to try and be everything to everyone. And I feel like if you do that, that's how we kind of don't get very far, because we kind of have like a huge list of studios and we're like, oh, I'll work for anyone, you know, I'm really desperate for work. And you come from this place of desperation rather than like a place of abundance where you can kind of be a bit more picky with your projects and stuff like this. So I think it's about changing your mindset about how you contact people, and, you know, like how you reach out to them, and kind of cultivating relationships with like a small group of people instead of sending like, I don't know, like 50 to 100 cold emails to studios, because that's just not going to work, because obviously you're not the right person for all those studios. So you need to do a bit of research and kind of, you know, figure out who your ideal clients are, who your dream clients are, and how you best fit with them, and then really do the work to, you know, come into like their world, as it were, and kind of make them a bit warmer leads before you email them and that kind of thing. So I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. So yeah, like I was saying, we need to cultivate relationships with a small group of clients instead of like trying to cold email like loads and loads, hundreds and hundreds of clients, because, you know, as most of you know, that just doesn't work very well. So cultivating and keeping track of hundreds of cold leads is also difficult. And, you know, a good thing to do is have a dream client list, or you can call it an ideal client list or whatever, where you kind of really work on a small group of people and building a relationship with them. Because like at the end of the day, all you really need is kind of 3 to 4 good recurring clients to build a business on, maybe even less actually, you know. If you have like a couple of good recurring clients, then you can definitely work as a freelancer. So like just having a really simple spreadsheet like this would normally suffice to kind of keep track of you know, your clients and who they are. And like, you know, you don't want like hundreds and hundreds of emails on here, but basically you want to put like the name, the title, like what they do. And these, I put these as examples. Obviously there's me and then there's some made up people there. I hope you like those names. So basically, like, you know, you want to be contacting like creative directors, producers, project managers, those kind of people. You want to put their like company name, and then relationship is like, you know, where are you with building the relationship with these clients? So here I've got like need to reach out in red, current client, like people that you've already worked with, reached out to but haven't maybe got back to you, or got back to you and said we'll keep you on our list, that kind of thing. And then client check-in, which is like a current client but maybe you haven't heard from them from a while. And then I always put like date last contacted, so you can see like, you know, how frequently you're contacting them and whether you need to do it more frequently or whether someone's due like you sending them an email and that kind of thing. So yeah, so obviously email, very important. I put social media in here and LinkedIn. So social media is for like, so basically what you want to do is kind of look at, you know, people's social media and before you email them and kind of see like, oh, does their work fit with my work? You know, am I like a good fit for their company? And also like what projects are they working on? Because then when you email them and when you reach out to them, it's kind of like you can say like, oh hey, like I saw this cool project that you did recently, you know, it looked really good. I actually do stuff like that too, like if you need any extra hands, that kind of thing. And then like LinkedIn, you know, basically I put that in there because LinkedIn's actually a really good way to search for people like producers, creative directors, stuff like that. So if you know the name of the company that you like the work of, you can quite easily search on LinkedIn and find, you know, the person who would be the ideal person to contact. And then notes is, you know, stuff like putting down, oh, they released a new project recently. So you can kind of build up like a bit of background for the people who you want to contact. So when you email them, you know, like quite a bit about their company. And then like, obviously, if you've worked on them, stuff like that. I've actually put a link for this if anybody would like to take it and use it in the description of this post as well. So obviously feel free to use it, but just make a copy so you're not kind of writing your clients in this one. Just make your own copy and feel free to go and use that. So yeah, like I mentioned, like other good tools for reaching out to people and finding them is, you know, LinkedIn is great to find people. You can just literally put in the search box like, you know, a company that you like, and then to click on people and you can see a list of people who work there. And then to find their emails, I think there is a way to get their emails via LinkedIn, but you can also use tools like Voila Norbert, which like helps you to find their emails and stuff like that. So this is a lot of this stuff is, you can find it more detailed in the Freelance Manifesto by Joey Coleman as well. So, you know, do definitely read that because it's really, really good. I'm kind of just almost giving you like a bit of a quick overview of some of the things in there and then also some of the extra things that I like to do too. So what you want to do is select a few clients that align with you and your work, you know, and like really look at what they do. And if you feel like you aren't on their level that you need to be, what you need to do is try and like gain the skills, close the gap. And I put a little asterisk there because I want to like, you know, just put out a word of warning for this about feeling like you're not there and closing the gap on your skills. So you don't, like I was saying earlier, you know, you don't always have the best perspective on your own work. So it's really, really important to seek constructive professional feedback from other people. And that's not just like talking to your friends and stuff like that, because like they're maybe not always, they're probably going to be like a bit too kind. Like you need someone to be like, well, this is really great, but actually this bit, this is where you need to improve, and that kind of thing. So sometimes maybe a colleague can help out, or like you've just got to really like ask people, like say like, look, I'm actually looking for like some like constructive feedback here, not just like, yeah, this is great, we love it, that kind of thing. So, you know, like I said earlier, like this is the kind of stuff that we work on with our Mograph Mastermind Program members. So if you're interested in that, you can go and check it out on the site as well. And cool. Yeah. So like I've also mentioned, like follow them on social media, you know, follow these companies that you like and follow and kind of engage with them and try and make them into like slightly warmer leads. So whether it's like liking their posts, like commenting on their work and saying like, hey, I really like this, really cool. And then by the time you email them, you know, you don't have to do this for very long. Like you could just do it for a couple of weeks and then send an email and they're going to be like, hey, like, haven't we seen Haley? Didn't she comment on our thing the other day? And then it becomes like it's less of a cold email and they kind of feel like they recognize your name and your voice and stuff like that. So like this is really important, and I feel like there's a few things here. It kind of might seem really simple, but the amount of times that I read people's emails that are going out to clients and kind of like their cold emails that they're sending, they do get stuff wrong like a lot of the time. So I just want to make sure all of you know like what you should be doing. So email copy, right? You need to make it personal, but you need to be to the point. Don't be like waffling on about your whole life story. You know, you just need to, they need to know like who you are, what you do, you know, maybe what kind of software you use, stuff like that. Make sure that you do include your work, like that's important. And, you know, be friendly, but professional. So you don't need to be like overly professional. Like I remember like someone in our mastermind, we were reading their email and we were like, this just sounds like too corporate. You know, we're not like corporate people. We're like friendly motion designers, and most people we want to work with are also friendly. So they want, you know, they want to work with people that they like. So I would just kind of be yourself, but make sure it's professional, basically. And I actually just went and, you know, scanned Joey's book because it's really good. And he like put some, you know, he goes into quite like a lot of detail about this stuff. And obviously like we're limited time here on the Facebook Live, we can't go into like so much detail, but this is kind of a basic email. And what I wanted to say about this is like, this is really good. Like go and read the book, like do all the things that I've said. You know, you want to keep it short and snappy, include your reel, say a bit about what softwares you use, like make it personal and be like, hey, you know, like I saw your work, like I really like it, I've been following you for a while, whatever that is, you know, like however you can make a connection with them. But do not do this. Like I've seen people do this. Do not just go and read the freelance manifesto and then copy exactly Joey's email. Because can you imagine now, like how many employers of motion designers are getting this exact email? You know, so we've got to be like a little bit more creative, you know? So like definitely use this, and I think it's great. It's like a great base, but like please do make sure that you're putting it into your own words. Basically, you can't just put, we are, you know, while I was looking for references for a project I'm working on, I came across your awesome studio. Like as soon as people read that, they're going to be like, oh, another person who's read the freelance manifesto. Do you know what I mean? Like we just need to like think a little bit more about and just put our own words in there and our own personality and stuff like that. So I can see that some of you put in comments in the on the post. That's great. Thank you. I'm gonna like go through all of this, and then I'm gonna do like Q&A at the end so we can get through it all. But yeah, thanks. If you're here and you just like joined us, yeah, please do say hey in the comments because I like to know that you're here. And if you're enjoying this, let me know. So cool. So this is what I'm so excited about telling you all as well. These are tools for writing better emails. So I'm actually dyslexic, so I'm really rubbish at writing emails. But Grammarly has actually saved my life, like in many ways. You know, I've started writing articles and stuff now, and there's actually an article coming out tomorrow in School of Motion, so watch out for that. And, you know, Grammarly has helped me so much. I've actually signed up as a pro member now, but you can get it for free. And basically, Grammarly obviously helps you with grammar, spelling, and writing. I highly recommend that. But some other tools that I use for, you know, writing better emails and kind of productivity and stuff is canned responses. So this helps you compose message templates that you can kind of tweak a bit. And it's actually just in your settings in Gmail. So you can add it in the settings in Gmail. It's really easy. And then when you compose an email, you just go to canned responses, new canned response. And you can make canned responses, but obviously you need to like keep personalizing the emails. But at least you have like, you don't need to be adding the link of your reel every single time. You know, you can just have that as a canned response. Like, and I think that's really good. Hey, Lana, I can see you there. Cool. So yeah, also Boomerang for Gmail is really good. I think you know, if you want to send a client an email, but you don't want to get back to them straight away because then they get back to you straight away and you end up being in this like email back and forth, you know, you can like use it to send your emails later, keep track of your emails, send yourself a reminder to follow up. So if you're reaching out to a client and you say, hey, I want to like check in with them in a week, you know, you can do that. It's very good. And I just use a free version of that as well. And then the last one is the Hemingway app. This helps you with readability and writing. It does some of the stuff that Grammarly Pro does too, but that's free. So you can like kind of use all of these tools or some of them, but I was just really excited to share these with you all because I think that they're really cool. Like, let me know if any of you are already using these in the comments. I'm sure some of you already have some of these, and let me know if you're going to try some as well. That'd be really fun. So yeah, please do go and use these tools because they're great. So yeah, what I want to know is like, just post in the comments below, like, are you going to create this dream client list? Are you going to basically whittle down your, I'm sure you've got a list somewhere with like hundreds and hundreds of studios on. Are you going to whittle that down to your, dream client list where you think you'd actually fit in better? Are you going to review your cold emails, get to more networking events and set up meetings with clients? Let me know in the comments because I really want to hear, like, is this helping you? Is me doing these Facebook Lives helping you? I want to know. And are you going to do these things? Because I really want you to take action, because it's all really good for us to like sit around here and be like, hey, yeah, we're hanging out, Motion Hatch, it's cool. But like, you need to take action on this stuff and like actually put some of it into practice, because that's will be the thing that helps you ultimately, is taking action, keeping up. Like, what the other thing that we talk about all the time is this thing about where we're like, oh my god, I've got no work, email like 50 people, and then you're like, oh, now I'm busy, and then don't email anyone for months. And it's like, no, you need to keep building these relationships, you need to keep up with the emails. And this is why the like tracker is really, really good. So do use that and let me know if it helps you. So yeah, just before I forget, on Friday, 4 p.m., so the same time as today, I'll be reviewing some portfolio websites. So hopefully that will help you all. So please do like stick them in the comments below. I'll try and get through as many as I can. Sorry if I don't get to yours, but yeah, like put them in below and I'll try and do as much as I can and hopefully give you some little tips and insights on what you should be putting on your websites and your portfolios. So yeah, like replays, if you want to rewatch this, it will be in the Facebook, but if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything, then go to motionhatch.com/community and you can sign up to our newsletter, because we send out a nice bi-weekly newsletter now called the Hatching Hub, where we kind of do a roundup of everything going on in Motion Hatch, but also in the motion design industry and all of that. So I'd really like to have you all on there. That would be sweet. So yeah, so Q&A, yeah, like that's the link for the perfect day exercise. So if you did miss Monday, just go and check that out, because it's really, really good, and it might surprise you what you find out there. So let me look. Let's see. Put this back on here. I'll try and read some of your comments now. Bear with me. I feel like I need like someone to help me with these lives, because I'm always like trying to find out all the different tabs. So some of you posting your portfolios, thank you so much for that. Thanks for commenting and saying that you're here, because that gives me encouragement. I really appreciate it. Do motion studios have communities managers that will get your DMs, or is it usually owners of studios that manage social media? This is a good question. Like, I imagine that it's probably based on the size of the studio, because like sometimes probably is the studio owners, and sometimes it might be like, I don't know, like a production manager or something like that. Sorry, my camera keeps moving. I'll try not to move too much. That's why it's going like dim. So yeah, I would say like I wouldn't really DM like people on social media. I would probably use the thing of like going on, like engaging with them publicly on social media. So like commenting on Instagrams and like on Twitter and stuff like that. And then I would send them an email. I think that would be preferred. I mean, you can maybe Instagram DMs is not as bad, but I don't know. I think I just prefer the kind of engaging with their content, commenting on their posts, liking their posts. And then after that, I think I would send them in a direct email. I think that works much better, but I'll keep you guys updated on that if I hear anything different, basically. So yeah, let's look. Great tools. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm glad you like the tools. I'm going to create my dream client list. I'm struggling with it. I don't know how to reach them. It looks like I don't know. Oh, can you explain a bit what you mean? Do you know now, or are you saying that you don't understand? Let me just click on this so I can see. I actually need to think what makes a dream client, what are the features, and how to recognize them. I think that what makes a dream client is dependent on you, like, because it's your dream client, right? It's not like my dream client is different to your dream client. So my kind of dream clients would be clients that are making a positive impact in the world in some way. So I've done work for like the United Nations and the Gates Foundation, stuff like that. Those kind of people are my dream clients because they're kind of thinking about, you know, how to make a positive impact on the world and do good in the world. And that's the kind of people that I want to work with. So they would be my dream clients, but they're probably not going to be your dream clients. That might be something different. So how to deal with dream clients not replying to your email? Yeah, so that's a good question. So dealing with dream clients when they're not replying to your emails, what I think that you should do first is I think you should follow up, because the power is in the follow up, right? Like, people are busy, they might have just not seen your email. I would usually wait, like, maybe you could wait like a couple of weeks or something, and then if you still don't get a reply, I wouldn't be disheartened. I would just kind of continue like building your portfolio, you know, making better work. And then when you have like a new personal project or something like that, then I would reach out again, because I think that that really helps when you kind of make new work and then maybe that's kind of gone up a level, and then just do that again. Like, it doesn't hurt to keep reaching out to clients, and you know, they're not going to be like, oh my God, like, as long as you're not emailing them every week, they're not going to get annoyed by that, basically. How do you get studio emails, or do you reach out to production managers, producers via LinkedIn? No, what I would do is I would find who they are via LinkedIn. So, you know, say like you like an animation studio, you type the animation studio's name into LinkedIn into the search bar, and then if you click on people, it will just show you like who works there, and you might actually find out that you have like somebody who knows them already, and then you can maybe try and get a referral through that way. So that would help, you know, to get a referral. Or what you could do is you can put their names and their company into like a tool like Voila Norbert, or I think there's one called like Hunter.io, something like that. Joey talks about it a lot in the Freelance Manifesto, so I would just read that. Like, I don't, you know, I'm just reiterating some of that from there, but that works quite well. So I would just try and do that. And sometimes people just actually put their emails on their websites or tell you where they want you to email, and I think that's fine too. If it's a small company, like, I don't see the harm in doing the whole info at whatever, that those kind of emails. But normally, like, I think the other day I was talking to Zach Dixon on the podcast, and he was saying, like, if you email that email, just say like, hey, who is the best person to email about, you know, getting hired? Like, I want to work with you guys, I really like you guys, like, who is the best person to reach out to? And you know, normally they will email you back if it's not like a huge company. So don't know how to reach producers. Who would be the best person to contact with to offer my work services? I want to work with films, TV, digital, creating motion graphic, open titles, art, and music videos. Oh, I can't see whether I have to check in the Facebook. Ecamm Live is not letting me. Sorry, bear with me. I am just trying to see your comments. Okay, cold email, I think. If you want to, it's cutting off your comment. Sorry, I'm just trying to read it. Yeah, cold email isn't the solution. Yeah, I think it's you know, obviously like referrals and stuff is the best way, but if you don't have that, then I think it's like just even looking on LinkedIn and like seeing who you're connected with, like is there someone at a company you want to work with, or someone that potentially knows someone else who works at a company that where you want to work, or like, on some TV program or whatever. Are you connected with someone that way? It's easy to search and see who your second and third contacts are via LinkedIn. So I would suggest like looking there, like talking to people about the work that you want to do, going to events, networking, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, sometimes it's hard to find people's emails, but if we're talking about like the animation studios, the agencies, and those kind of people, like I think producers want and freelancers to contract them because they want to have more people to work with who are good. So I would do that. And I think it's just a bit about nurturing those relationships through social media and that kind of thing. And just, generally being a person who's around in the community and who is helpful, I think really helps. Margaret says, how do you usually get studio emails? Oh, yeah, I've answered that one. Sorry. If you want to attract clients, small motion studios owner, putting content on your website blog. What content do you think might interest them? Is that a good strategy? Okay, yeah. So you're talking about like content marketing there, I think. I think what I think about this, like it depends who you're trying to attract. So you said like small motion studio owners. So I would probably go with more putting stuff about like how you work, your process and stuff like that, and like a bit more behind the scenes. I think that kind of stuff appeals to them. I don't think that appeals as much to direct clients. What I feel like appeals to direct clients is like teaching them about how the animation process works, that kind of stuff. But I think if it's like people who are small animation studios, that kind of thing, I think like more behind the scenes, showing that you built something from scratch, that you did all the sketching, that kind of stuff. If that's your like deal, that's what you do. I think that kind of stuff really works in terms of like what goes on your blog and what you should post on LinkedIn and Instagram. And like behind the scenes stuff on Instagram is going really, really well at the moment. So I think that's definitely like a great place to put that kind of thing. And I'm hearing more and more from like studios and agencies that they're checking Instagram and finding people that way. So Lana says, is it a good idea to call the client? I've never been a fan of this. I like calling clients when there's like a problem. So if you're working with a client already and you're like, oh, been talking on email and you're like, oh, there's a little bit of a problem here, the communication's not going well, then call them, definitely. But I'm not a fan of like cold calling studios. I think most people live in their emails anyway, so they're probably more likely to see stuff there. And I don't know, I've never really heard people doing that and it kind of having a great response. So I wouldn't really bother with that. I'd try and either meet people in person, get a referral from someone else that you know, or like send an email and try and make it as warm as possible with like putting your personality in there. Like I said, doing the things, like saying that you follow the studio, saying what pieces of work you like just so they know that you're not just sending like loads of emails that are the same to everyone, basically. Andrea says, thanks for the answer. Does it make sense to reach out to marketing people of dream clients, even though they might not think they need any motion design? How should you write to them? Yeah, so this is interesting. I think that you can do that. I think there's a few ways to like, you're talking about like marketing people at like big brands and stuff like that, I imagine. So one way is like that you could do this is like trying to find out like where do they hang out? Like, do they go to certain conferences? Like, I don't know, is there like, say if you wanted to do more tech industry stuff, like are there tech industry conferences that you could go to and meet those kind of people? That would probably be a good way. And also, I think there's no harm in email people. It's just hard to cut through the inbox. That's the thing. So like, I quite like that people are starting to do like little animation explainers of themselves. I think that's kind of a neat thing because that's sort of showing the client who you are and what you do at the same time, and provide like showing the value of animation, because they're like, oh, that's cool. Like they can imagine that they would like have something similar for their company. I think also pointing out work that is similar. So say you do stuff for like the healthcare industry, or I don't know, like for like meditation apps or something. Like if you wanted to contact another company in the same kind of industry, you could point them to a similar, you know, animation that you did for a similar company. I think that kind of thing works really well. I have tried before doing this technique called inbox zero. Oh no, not inbox zero. That's where you get your email down to zero. It's called occupy inbox. Sorry, so many inboxes. So yeah, that's where you record a video of yourself kind of saying, hey, I really like your brand and what you stand for, blah, blah, blah. This is who I am. And you basically just put the video in the email, and that cuts through the inbox because they're like, hey, someone's like done me a personalized video. Like, I don't know of anyone else who's tried this, but I did do that once. And I did actually, like a year later, because sometimes these things take ages, like get them contacting me again, interested in talking about a project. So you could try that. If you do, let me know if it works. I don't know whether that would work for agencies and stuff, but I think if it's like a really big brand and you're really passionate about it and you really can't get in any other way, like through a referral or through like networking, that kind of stuff, you know, you could give it a try. Thanks for all the comments today, everybody. They're really good. I think Facebook makes it hard for me to like look. If I open it, hopefully it won't play. So I can see your comments better because it's not working very well. Okay, cool. I can see better now. I'm just checking that I haven't missed anyone's comments. I think I may have. Andrea says, yes, I have a 3-person studio. I want to get interesting companies to let them know what we do and what we could offer them. I think one thing that my friend who runs a studio in Manchester does, which I think is really nice, they set up like an event that they had teaching people like the value of video and animation. And it was like they did talks and they had talks from them, but also like marketing people and stuff like that. I think that was really nice. So you could try things like that, like live events and inviting your ideal clients. Also things like, you know, writing blog posts about how animation can help companies, just generally building your social media presence, contacting, trying to use your immediate network, like figuring out, do you know anyone who knows anyone who knows anyone that might work at those companies? Do you know anyone who works for maybe like smaller brands and businesses where they might, you know, want to work with like animators, where you can kind of then start to build up to like the bigger clients, stuff like that. I think that could help. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I've answered most of your comments. If there's any other comments, please do pop them in below and I'll try and answer them. And if not, if we end up, you know, we're not on the live anymore, just put them underneath and I'll like definitely respond later to all your comments. I really appreciate you all being here. If you think that this is helpful, please let me know, like in the comments. Was this helpful for you? Are you going to try some of the strategies? I think this is really good to just have these conversations in the community. So like I'd love for you all to like carry on, you know, posting about this stuff because I think it's really, really important. So yeah, so I think just let me know in the comments now if you think that I haven't answered your comment, because I would like to. Stephen says, this is a great workshop. Thanks for all your efforts. Thank you. I really appreciate this. And it's really fun to do these things. So, you know, do let me know if you like it, if you enjoy it. Please do leave a comment, because then it encourages me to do more, basically. And let me know as well, like, is there anything else that you think we should cover in these kind of Facebook Live things? Remember, on Friday, I'm doing some portfolio reviews. So if you want me to have a look at your portfolio, then please do post it in the comments as well. So Van Velvet TA says, having an agent or representative, is it any good? I think that it depends who you are. I mean, it works very well for illustrators and like animators who have a really like distinct style. But I think for most people, it's not necessary. Like, I think like the traditional like illustration kind of animation agent are good because they actually get you like work with big brands. I think more like kind of recruitment agencies, if you don't need to use them, I'm of the thought that then maybe I wouldn't, because I don't know. We always thought like when we were hiring people, like we would always go to the recruitment agencies last, you know. So it's kind of like I don't feel like it has as much makes you look as good as if like you have like an agent that's more like an animation slash illustration sort of kind of agent where it's based on your particular style. Like recruitment companies are a little bit different to that. So I just kind of make that distinction and then see where you fit. Like, I think that it can be good, but I would definitely say that if you get an agent, make sure they're not the only people that can give you work, that you can actually get your own work and stuff as well. I think that's just like the key there. I think that we did do a podcast about this with Wednesday Studio. I can't really remember which one it was. Let me try and find it quickly for you all. And we talked about agents and how they got their agent and stuff like that, and how helpful it is to them. So yeah, I think it was like 2020 something. Let me try and find it. But that was I think that was really good, and we talked quite a bit about it there. I think we probably might have talked about it with some of the people as well, but I cannot remember right now. Wednesday. I think maybe it was, yeah, it was quite a while ago. Okay, I can't find it, so you know what, I'll post it in the comments after we finish this live. Well, I'll be able to find the link then for you all. So yeah, Andrea says I'd love to have a workshop on how to calculate proposals. Yep, I feel like this is we're going to get to that kind of some of that stuff next year. So keep your eyes peeled for that kind of thing, like budgeting, client communication, proposals, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I hope that you've all enjoyed this. Like, I just want to try and help you guys more as much as possible. And like I said earlier, we have the Mograph Mastermind Program opening for applications on Monday. So if you'd like to find out more about that, you can go to motionhatch.com/mastermind. Do check out the perfect day exercise. That's at motionhatch.com/perfect day. That's just free exercise for you guys to help you with your careers, making sure you're going in the right direction. I've just stuck the my like spreadsheet that I made you all is literally just in the comments, so you can just go and copy that, but just make sure that you do make a copy. So yeah, let me know if you found this helpful, and I've had loads of fun today, so I can't wait to see you all on Friday at 4 p.m. London time. So make sure that you come and join me then, and yeah, let me know if you want me to do more of these, because this is really fun. Thanks so much, Margaret, for saying you love this workshop, very practical steps. So yeah, thank you. If you want to join the community so that you get a replay of all these workshops and our bi-weekly newsletter, go to motionhatch.com/community. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you all. See ya.